Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is part of the DIY challenge where we can create any DIY projects that we wish. It is hosted by my dear friend Heidi Sonboul, and if you're not familiar with her, she is amazing. She has two channels. One is Heidi Sonboul Home, where she posts a lot of videos where she cleans and do a lot of things around her home. And the other one is Heidi Sonboul DIY, where she posts all her amazing DIY projects, challenges, and her ideas. So if you're not familiar with her, I'm gonna link her channel in the description box so you can go ahead and check her out. You will not be disappointed. Also, there will be a playlist linked in the description box for this challenge, so you can check that out as well. Okay, I've had this frame, I believe, for 10 years, maybe even more. My husband and I bought it to frame the puzzles that we did at a time, and we never did. And as you can see, there's still plastic on top of it, so we literally never opened it. And it moved with us from home to home, and I think it's time to use it. So first thing, I'm gonna take the plastic off and pull it apart. I want it to get to frame so I can paint it. And you will see over here, it shows that this frame is 11 3/4 by 36 inches. So it is a pretty good size. I'm using my Rust-Oleum chalk paint in a linen white color to give it a first coat. Now, what I'm making over here is the sign with our last name using all the scrap materials that I had in my garage. I always wanted to have one of those, and it was a perfect time to make one. Now I'm taking this plastic that was like instead of glass in it to measure how big I want my letters to be. I'm using my miter saw to cut out the pieces for our first letter of our last name, which is K, and I am measuring over here what I need to cut. After I see that I cut it the way I wanted, I am sanding the edges just a little bit, making sure there's not rough edges from the saw. And then after that, I am going to stain it, or actually I am using the brown craft paint diluted with water. I don't have any ratio. I'm just doing it the way I think it should be done, like I showed over here. And I am just giving it a few coats until I see that it's the color that I want. While that is drying, I am going on to my frame. I'm using these four colors, which is Waverly chalk paint in color mineral, and I'm using granite gray pavement and a brown acrylic paint. And I am doing the dry brushing of each of these colors on this frame. So there was a first white coat as you saw it, and then I'm dry brushing every single color on it. I am taking my time to do it because I didn't want to rush it. I didn't want to mess it up. So I'm just layering slowly until I'm completely satisfied with the way it looks. So I don't know if you can see it over here. It takes a long time to do it, but slowly it got to where I wanted, and I'll show you later how it looks like. Now that my letter K is dried, I am using the same brush, and I believe I used one of those lighter gray paints to dry brush it over it as well. Next, I'm measuring where am I going to screw the screw in, and after that I am just putting a little bit of wood glue to attach the pieces together. and then I am putting the screw in. I am doing it by hand because my daughter was right there next to me and she is afraid of the sound of a drill, so I had to do it by hand, but it worked out. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Jelena. I am a stay-at-home mom of 2 kids. I love doing DIYs. That is something that I enjoy, and I started doing more on my channel. And I would like for you to check out my other videos and subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you. For the second letter of our last name, which is O, I am using this lid of the stain that we used, and then 3 craft paints, which is white, granite gray, and pavement. And I am going to galvanize this, or make it look like it's galvanized. I am starting with a white one, and then a black, and then light gray. And then I am just alternating until I get the color that I really like. And I'm using a makeup brush that is just a little bit damp. I found that works the best for me. And this is how it turned out. I really am happy with the way it turned out. Okay. The next letter will be C, and I'm using a large wood beads that are from the Dollar Tree. And this green paint that I had on my stash. And after it was dried, I went over with this crystal clear enamel to protect it. And then I'm using this wire to put the beads on. And after I am done putting them all on, I'm cutting out the wire, and I am rolling out, or actually twisting the ends with my pliers to make sure the beads stay in place. And that completes the third letter, which is C. For the fourth letter, which is I am using this piece of plastic that I had in my garage, and I am putting it next to letter K just to make sure I am getting the similar height. I don't want all the letters to be the same height, but at least similar. And then I'm measuring where I want to cut it. I'm just using this tool, I don't even know what is it called, to cut it out. It was pretty easy. It is not that hard plastic. I'm also cutting out these kind of legs that are on it, and smoothing it all out with a little bit of sandpaper. And after that, I'm using a little bit of white paint on my brush and dry brushing it, and that completes this letter I. If you are on a social media, please look for me. I am on the Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. I would like for you guys to find me and become friends. Now I'm taking that plastic thing that was in a frame instead of glass, and I decided to use my Rust-Oleum chalk paint in a linen white color and a foam brush and paint it. Now it took 2 coats, and I made sure I was doing the straight as possible lines horizontally, so it can kind of give it a grain look, because I wanted it to look like it was made out of wood. And I'm gonna over here make lines to look like a shiplap look. So I'm using just a regular pencil and a ruler, and I'm dividing it in 4 sections. Since I used the regular pencil, after that I am just using my finger to smudge it a little bit, because I didn't like the very straight and sharp lines. And I think that did a trick. It did a really, really good job and looked good. After that, I used a little bit of paint, dry brushed it just a little bit, and you're gonna see that in the finished product. After that, I am putting all the letters, and as you can see, letter S is with a rope, and I'm using the all adhesive from the Dollar Tree that is like a E6000, putting a lot of it, and I'm using my hot glue to attach each letter. I did use heavy objects to put it on top of it and left everything to dry for about an hour or a little bit longer to make sure everything is attached good. And after that, I added a frame, and I'm going to show you how the finished product looks like. But first, I'm going to show you how the frame looks like close up, because I didn't show you that earlier. So this is how the frame turned out. I love it. I got exactly what I wanted. I'm glad I took my time to dry brush it, and it really, really looks beautiful, like an old wood. And now for the whole look, this is how it looks like. I always wanted to have this in my house. I'm not sure exactly where we're gonna put it, either in our foyer or in an office, but I'm sure it's gonna look good anywhere in the house. I am obsessed with this. My son loves it, my husband loves it, and I am happy how it turned out, and it cost me $0. So I had everything on hand, and I'm glad I took on this project. It was so easy to make and so much fun. So guys, please tell me what you think of it, and if you like it, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you're not part of my channel, I would like for you to subscribe, and please click on notification bell on, that way you will not miss out on any of my future videos. Thank you, Heidi, for hosting this challenge, and I will have her channel as well as the playlist linked in the description box down below, so you guys can go ahead and check it out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys.
If it was over,